Have you ever dreamed of traveling the world in your golden years? After all, retirement should be the perfect time to explore new places, create unforgettable memories, and finally check. But before you book your next trip, there's something you need to know. Traveling after 70 comes with hidden risks that many seniors overlook until it's too late. These are real dangers that could threaten your health, drain your savings, and even put your safety at risk. Think about it. What if a small medical issue suddenly turned into a full-blown emergency thousands of miles from home? What if a simple mistake with your finances led to a massive unexpected expense? Or worse, what if you became a prime target for scams that specifically prey on older travelers? So, should seniors stop traveling altogether? Absolutely not. But in this video, we'll reveal the 5 hidden dangers of traveling after 70th. Danger number 3 is something that even experienced travelers fail to see coming, but it happens more often than you think. Now, before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Type the number 5 in the comments if you're still excited about traveling but want to do it safely. Let's get started. Increased risk of infections. Why traveling after 70 puts your health at risk. As we age, our immune system undergoes natural changes that weaken its ability to fight infections. This process, known as immunosenescence, makes older adults more susceptible to illnesses such as influenza, pneumonia, and respiratory infections. According to Dr. Janet Lord, a professor of immunology at the University of Birmingham, aging causes a decline in immune function, making it harder for the body to respond to new pathogens effectively. When older adults travel, they expose themselves to new environments and unfamiliar germs, significantly increasing their risk of infections that can lead to severe complications. The hidden dangers of travel-related infections. Consider the example of a senior traveler embarking on a cruise vacation. Cruise ships, despite their luxury, are enclosed environments where thousands of passengers share dining areas, entertainment spaces, and public facilities. This makes them breeding grounds for infectious diseases like norovirus, a highly contagious virus that causes severe vomiting and diarrhea. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reports that outbreaks of norovirus occur frequently on cruise ships due to the virus's ability to spread rapidly in close quarters. While a younger person may recover quickly from such an illness, an older adult with a weakened immune system may suffer from severe dehydration, hospitalization, or even life-threatening complications. Similarly, airports and airplanes pose significant risks. A study published in the Journal of Environmental Health Research found that airplane passengers are 113 times more likely to catch the common cold due to confined spaces and recycled air. When traveling through busy airports or crowded planes, an older adult with a weakened immune system is far more vulnerable to contracting respiratory viruses, bacterial infections, or even emerging global diseases. Scientific evidence. Why older adults face higher infection risks. The decline in immune function has been well documented in medical research. Dr. Richard Aspinall, an immunologist and professor at Cranfield University, explains that aging leads to a reduction in naive T cells, which are critical for recognizing and fighting off new infections. This means that when an elderly traveler is exposed to an unfamiliar virus or bacteria, their immune system takes longer to respond, or sometimes fails to mount an adequate defense at all. In addition, older adults often have underlying health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or lung disorders, which further increase their susceptibility to infections. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that older adults hospitalized for flu-related complications were significantly more likely to develop secondary infections, such as pneumonia, which can be fatal if left untreated. Given that travel exposes individuals to a variety of novel pathogens, it is clear that seniors face a heightened risk when venturing beyond their home environment. How seniors can reduce their infection risk while traveling. Fortunately, there are proactive steps older travelers can take to minimize their risk of infection while still enjoying their trips. 1. Stay up to date with vaccinations. One of the most effective ways to protect against infections is to stay current with essential vaccinations. According to the CDC, adults over 65 should receive the influenza vaccine yearly to reduce the risk of severe flu-related complications, the pneumococcal vaccine, which protects against pneumonia, meningitis, and bloodstream infections, the shingles vaccine, Shingrix, to prevent the painful and potentially debilitating effects of shingles. Dr. Gregory Poland, an infectious disease expert at the Mayo Clinic, emphasizes that vaccines are especially important for older adults whose immune responses are already weaker. He notes that flu-related hospitalizations are highest among seniors, making vaccination a critical preventive measure. 2. Practice excellent hygiene. Simple hygiene habits can significantly reduce the likelihood of infection. The Mayo Clinic recommends the following practices. Frequent hand washing with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Carrying alcohol-based hand sanitizer when soap and water are unavailable. Avoiding touching the face, especially the eyes, nose, and mouth, where viruses can easily enter the body. A study published in the American Journal of Infection Control found that proper hand hygiene can reduce respiratory infections by up to 45%, making it one of the most effective tools in preventing illness. 3. Wear a mask in high-risk areas. Since COVID-19, the importance of wearing masks in crowded places has been widely recognized. While mandates have eased, respiratory viruses remain a constant threat, especially for seniors. Studies show that wearing a high-quality N95 or KN95 mask in airports, airplanes, public transport, and crowded attractions can significantly reduce the risk of inhaling infectious particles. According to Dr. Anthony Fauci, former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, mask wearing is particularly beneficial for immunocompromised individuals and older adults. In environments like cruise ships, busy markets, and indoor entertainment venues, a well-fitted mask can be a simple but powerful layer of protection. Final thoughts. Is travel worth the risk? While travel can be exciting and fulfilling, it is undeniable that older adults face higher health risks than their younger counterparts. Exposure to unfamiliar pathogens, combined with a weakened immune system, makes seniors particularly vulnerable to infections that could turn a dream vacation into a medical crisis. That said, travel does not have to be off-limits for seniors, as long as they take the right precautions. By staying up to date with vaccinations, practicing meticulous hygiene, and being selective about travel destinations and accommodations, older travelers can enjoy their journeys with greater peace of mind and reduced health risks. If you or a loved one are considering travel after 70, make informed choices, prioritize your health, and ensure that safety comes first. Because when it comes to enjoying your golden years, your well-being should always be the top priority. Did you find this information helpful? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more essential travel and health tips. Deep vein thrombosis, DVT, and blood clots, a silent danger for senior travelers. Traveling can be an exciting and enriching experience. But for those over 70, long trips come with hidden risks, one of the most serious being deep vein thrombosis, DVT. DVT occurs when a blood clot forms in a deep vein, typically in the legs, due to prolonged inactivity. If a part of this clot breaks loose, it can travel to the lungs and cause a pulmonary embolism, PE, a life-threatening condition. As we age, changes in blood flow and decreased vascular elasticity make seniors particularly vulnerable. Why are seniors at greater risk? Dr. Samuel Z. Goldhaber, a professor at Harvard Medical School and one of the world's leading experts on thrombosis, states that the risk of DVT increases significantly after age 60 due to venous insufficiency, reduced mobility, and underlying health conditions. A study from Harvard Health confirms that older adults, especially those with heart disease, diabetes, or obesity, face an even higher likelihood of developing DVT during long trips. Take this scenario. Imagine a 74-year-old traveler embarking on a 10-hour flight. Excited about their vacation, they remain seated, reading, and watching movies, barely moving for most of the journey. Upon arrival, they feel a dull ache in their calf, which later becomes swollen and tender. Unaware of the danger, they dismiss it as simple muscle fatigue. However, within hours or days, this clot could dislodge, travel to their lungs, and result in a life-threatening pulmonary embolism. Unfortunately, this situation is more common than most people realize. Recognizing the symptoms of DVT. DVT is often called a silent killer because it can develop without immediate symptoms. However, some warning signs include swelling in one leg, typically below the knee. Pain or cramping in the calf that worsens when walking. A reddish or bluish tint to the skin. Unexplained warmth in the affected area. If the clot breaks free and causes a pulmonary embolism, symptoms may escalate too. Sudden shortness of breath. Chest pain that worsens with deep breaths. Lightheadedness or fainting. Rapid heart rate. According to the Mayo Clinic, pulmonary embolisms can be fatal if not treated immediately. Seniors should never ignore these symptoms, especially after a long trip. Preventing DVT while traveling. The good news? DVT is largely preventable with the right precautions. Experts from WebMD, Mayo Clinic, and Harvard Health recommend the following strategies. 1. Move frequently. Sitting still for long periods slows circulation, increasing the risk of clot formation. Dr. Jack Hirsch, a professor of hematology at McMaster University, emphasizes that frequent movement is the simplest and most effective way to prevent DVT. Stand up and walk every 1 to 2 hours on long flights, car rides, or train journeys. If stuck in a seat, perform simple leg exercises. Ankle circles to promote circulation. Foot pumps, moving toes up and down, to engage the calf muscles. Knee lifts while seated. 2. Wear compression socks. Compression socks help maintain blood flow by gently squeezing the legs, reducing swelling and preventing blood from pooling. Studies from Harvard Health show that travelers wearing compression stockings experience up to a 90% reduction in DVT risk compared to those who don't. Choose graduated compression socks with at least 15 to 30 millimeters of mercury pressure. Wear them before, during, and after travel, especially on long-haul flights. 3. Stay hydrated and avoid alcohol. Dehydration thickens the blood, increasing clot risk. According to Dr. Stephen Mall, a thrombosis specialist at the University of North Carolina, proper hydration is essential for reducing DVT risk. Drink at least 8 ounces of water every few hours during travel. Avoid alcohol and caffeine, as they dehydrate the body and constrict blood vessels. Consider blood thinners, if advised by a doctor. For seniors with a history of DVT, doctors may recommend low-dose aspirin or anticoagulants before travel. According to the Mayo Clinic, these medications can lower the likelihood of clot formation, but should only be used under medical supervision. Final thoughts. Travel smart, stay safe. DVT is a serious yet often overlooked risk for seniors traveling long distances. But with the right precautions, movement, compression socks, hydration, and awareness, this silent danger can be avoided. Before your next trip, take the time to consult your doctor and plan accordingly. Because the best journeys aren't just about where you go, but how safely you get there. The hidden dangers of traveling after 70, balance, and mobility challenges you must consider. As we age, balance and mobility become increasingly critical factors in our daily lives. Simple tasks that were once effortless can suddenly feel challenging due to muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and even changes in the inner ear that affect equilibrium. Now, imagine adding an unfamiliar environment into the equation: uneven cobblestone streets, crowded tourist sites, and unpredictable walking conditions. Suddenly, the risk of falls and serious injuries escalates dramatically. According to WebMD, aging naturally leads to a decline in muscle mass, flexibility, and proprioception, the body's ability to sense movement and positioning. These changes can make even the most well-planned trip unexpectedly hazardous. Why older adults are more at risk while traveling. Falls are not just minor inconveniences for seniors. They can have life-altering consequences. Research from Dr. Stephen Lord, a leading professor in gerontology at the University of New South Wales, found that aging adults are at a much higher risk of falls due to diminished muscle response and slower reaction times. His studies show that after the age of 70, the likelihood of experiencing a fall-related injury increases by nearly 30%. When traveling, these risks are amplified. For example, let's take Richard, a 75-year-old retired teacher who decided to visit Rome with his wife. He had always been in decent shape, frequently walking in his neighborhood. However, navigating the ancient cobblestone streets of the Colosseum quickly became exhausting. The uneven surface and lack of handrails made it challenging for him to maintain balance. One unexpected misstep caused him to stumble, leading to a painful fall that left him with a fractured wrist. What was supposed to be a trip of a lifetime turned into a stressful experience filled with hospital visits and recovery. Dr. Dawn Skelton, a professor of aging and health at Glasgow Caledonian University, warns that falls often result in psychological consequences beyond just physical injuries. Many seniors who experience a fall develop a fear of movement, which can reduce their confidence and lead to even more inactivity, worsening their overall health. How seniors can improve balance and mobility before traveling. While these risks are real, the good news is that they can be mitigated with proper preparation. Experts recommend several strategies to enhance balance, strength, and coordination before embarking on any trip. 1. Practice balance-enhancing exercises. One of the most effective ways to improve stability is by incorporating Tai Chi and yoga into your daily routine. Harvard Medical School reports that Tai Chi, a slow and controlled martial art, reduces fall risk by 55% in older adults. The gentle movements enhance coordination, strengthen core muscles, and improve reflexes, all of which are essential for navigating tricky terrain while traveling. Similarly, yoga helps increase flexibility and proprioception, which is crucial when dealing with uneven walking surfaces. According to research by Dr. Gail Greendale at UCLA, seniors who practice yoga regularly show marked improvements in posture, balance, and joint stability, 3 key factors in preventing falls. 2. Use assistive devices when necessary. Many seniors hesitate to use mobility aids like canes or walking sticks because they feel it makes them look older or more fragile. However, WebMD emphasizes that a properly chosen walking cane or trekking pole can significantly reduce the risk of falls on unfamiliar terrain. These tools provide extra stability when navigating surfaces like rocky paths or staircases without railings. A good example is Betty, a 72-year-old traveler who always dreamed of hiking in Machu Picchu. Aware of her balance issues, she invested in a lightweight trekking pole and practiced using it on local hiking trails before her trip. By the time she arrived, she felt confident in her ability to maintain stability, and she completed her dream hike without injury, a direct result of her preparation. 3. Wear proper footwear. One of the most underrated yet crucial aspects of fall prevention is choosing the right shoes. A study by Dr. Marion Tinetti, a geriatric specialist at Yale University, found that 70% of falls in older adults are linked to improper footwear. Seniors often wear sandals, flip-flops, or shoes with inadequate arch support while traveling, which can lead to instability on uneven surfaces. To minimize the risk, wear shoes with slip-resistant soles. Ensure good ankle support. Opt for lightweight yet durable designs. A great example is John, a 74-year-old traveler who ignored this advice. He wore his usual loafers while walking through a rain-slicked plaza in Spain. The lack of grip caused him to slip, leading to a painful hip injury that cut his vacation short. Don't make the same mistake. Investing in high-quality travel shoes can mean the difference between a smooth journey and a disastrous accident. Final thoughts. Smart travel for a safer experience. Aging should never be a reason to stop traveling. However, understanding the physical limitations that come with age and taking appropriate precautions is essential. By strengthening balance through exercise, using assistive tools when necessary, and investing in proper footwear, older adults can significantly reduce their fall risk and travel with confidence. Dr. David Agus, a professor of medicine at the University of Southern California, often emphasizes that aging should be about thriving, not just surviving. If travel is on your bucket list, prepare your body for the journey ahead. Because the best adventures happen when you feel strong, steady, and secure. What are your thoughts on these strategies? Have you or a loved one faced mobility challenges while traveling? Drop a comment below, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content for you. Safe travels. The hidden dangers of medication mismanagement while traveling after 70. Traveling can be an exciting adventure at any age, but for seniors over 70, it comes with unique challenges, one of the most overlooked being medication management. When routines are disrupted, time zones shift, and schedules become unpredictable, sticking to a prescribed medication regimen becomes a serious challenge. A missed dose or incorrect timing can have dangerous health consequences, especially for those with chronic conditions. How travel disrupts medication routines. According to Dr. Michael Steinman, a professor of geriatrics at the University of California, San Francisco, older adults are particularly vulnerable to medication mismanagement due to cognitive changes, complex drug regimens, and unexpected disruptions in their daily routines. Even a small lapse in medication adherence can escalate existing health conditions. For instance, a senior with hypertension, high blood pressure, may forget to take their medication while sightseeing, leading to a sudden spike in blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart attacks and strokes. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, found that nearly 40% of older adults make at least one medication error while traveling, often due to missed doses or confusion about time zone adjustments. Let's break down the key factors that contribute to medication mismanagement while traveling. 1. Time zone confusion. When crossing multiple time zones, it becomes challenging to determine when to take medications that require strict timing, such as insulin for diabetes or blood pressure medications. If a senior normally takes their pills at 8 a.m. at home, should they adjust for the new time zone or continue with their home schedule? Many seniors don't have clear guidance on this, leading to dangerous fluctuations in medication effectiveness. 2. Irregular schedules. Vacations often involve early mornings, late nights, and unpredictable schedules. This can cause seniors to forget doses or take medications at inconsistent intervals, reducing their effectiveness. 3. Stress and fatigue. Travel stress, whether it's navigating airports, dealing with delays, or adjusting to new environments, can cause seniors to become distracted and overlook their medication routine. A 2021 study from the Harvard Medical School reported that stress and fatigue increased the likelihood of forgetfulness in adults over 65 by nearly 30%. 4. Limited access to medical help. In case of a medical emergency, travelers may not have access to their regular doctors or pharmacists. Language barriers, unfamiliar healthcare systems, and difficulty finding a pharmacy that stocks the same medications can add to the risk of improper medication use. Real-life example, a costly mistake. Take George, a 74-year-old retiree who loves to travel. On a trip to Italy, he was so caught up in his itinerary that he forgot to take his blood thinner for 2 consecutive days. When he finally remembered, he took double the dose to compensate. Within hours, he started feeling dizzy and had to be rushed to a local hospital, where doctors diagnosed internal bleeding due to the overdose. This could have been avoided with simple yet effective medication management strategies. How to stay on track. Expert recommendations. 1. Use a pill organizer. A weekly pill organizer is a lifesaver for seniors traveling with multiple prescriptions. Dr. Carla Parasinato, a geriatric medicine specialist at UCSF, advises seniors to pack medications in a well-organized container to ensure doses are not missed. Tip: choose an organizer with labeled compartments for morning, afternoon, and evening doses to prevent confusion. 2. Set medication reminders. Modern technology makes it easier than ever to stay on schedule. Setting alarms on a smartphone, smartwatch, or travel clock can provide timely reminders to take medication. Tip: apps like Medisafe or Pill Reminder can send alerts and even track doses. 3. Carry a medication list. Always keep a detailed medication list that includes drug names, dosages, timing instructions, doctor's contact information. This is crucial in case of a medical emergency or if you need a prescription refill abroad. Tip: keep both a digital copy on your phone and a physical copy in your wallet. 4. Plan ahead for time zone adjustments. Before departure, consult a doctor or pharmacist about adjusting medication timing when crossing time zones. Example: if traveling from New York, EST, to London, GMT, a doctor may recommend gradually shifting medication times a few days before departure to ease the transition. 5. Pack extra medications. Always bring at least a week's worth of extra medication in case of delays or lost luggage. Store pills in their original prescription bottles to avoid issues at airport security. Tip: keep medications in your carry-on bag, not checked luggage, to avoid loss or damage. Final thoughts: don't let medication mishaps ruin your trip. Traveling after 70 should be about enjoying new experiences, not dealing with medical emergencies caused by missed medications. By implementing these expert-backed strategies, seniors can stay on top of their health and make the most of their journeys. Cognitive overload and stress. The hidden risk of traveling after 70. Traveling is often seen as an enriching experience, new sights, new cultures, and unforgettable memories. However, for older adults, especially those experiencing mild cognitive decline, travel can also bring significant cognitive overload and stress. The demands of quick decision-making, navigating unfamiliar environments, and adapting to new routines can become overwhelming, leading to confusion, anxiety, and even distress. Why cognitive overload is a real concern for older travelers. Cognitive overload occurs when the brain is bombarded with too much information, making it difficult to process and respond effectively. This issue becomes even more pronounced in senior travelers, as age-related cognitive changes can slow information processing and decision-making abilities. According to Dr. Daniel Shatter, a professor of psychology at Harvard University, cognitive aging often affects working memory, making it harder to recall new information quickly, something essential when traveling in unfamiliar locations. Take, for example, an elderly traveler arriving in a foreign country. The simple act of ordering food in a restaurant or asking for directions can become an overwhelming challenge if there is a language barrier. In a 2022 study by Drive Fergus Craik, a renowned neuroscientist specializing in aging and memory, findings suggest that older adults require significantly more effort to encode and retrieve new information, especially under stress. This means that trying to memorize local phrases, understand different currency systems, or navigate unfamiliar public transport can become mentally exhausting, leading to heightened anxiety. Moreover, according to Dr. Richard Davidson, a neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, chronic stress negatively impacts brain function, particularly in older adults. Elevated stress levels can impair cognitive flexibility, the ability to switch between different tasks or adapt to new situations. This explains why seniors might feel disoriented or overwhelmed in fast-paced, unfamiliar settings. Real-life example: the stress of the unexpected. Consider George, a 73-year-old retiree who always dreamed of visiting Paris. He meticulously planned his itinerary, but didn't anticipate how challenging it would be to navigate the Paris metro. After boarding the wrong train, he found himself lost, struggling to communicate with station attendants who didn't speak English. The overwhelming situation led to panic, confusion, and ultimately, physical exhaustion. While a younger traveler might have quickly regrouped, George found the experience deeply unsettling, dampening his enthusiasm for the rest of the trip. Practical recommendations to reduce cognitive overload. To make travel less stressful and more enjoyable for older adults, strategic preparation is key. Here are some expert-backed recommendations. 1. Plan ahead to minimize uncertainty. Thorough research before departure can significantly reduce cognitive strain. This includes learning about local customs and basic phrases in the local language, mapping out accommodations and transportation routes in advance, using travel apps that simplify navigation, translation, and currency conversion. As Dr. Gary Small, a geriatric psychiatrist at UCLA, points out in his book The Memory Bible, structured planning reduces cognitive effort and enhances confidence, allowing older adults to focus on enjoying the experience rather than stressing over logistics. 2. Travel with a companion for cognitive support. Having a trusted travel partner can alleviate much of the decision-making burden, whether it's a spouse, friend, or family member. A travel companion can help with navigating, communicating, and making choices, reducing cognitive fatigue. Research by Dr. Laura Carstensen, a psychologist at Stanford University, highlights that seniors who engage in social interactions experience lower stress levels and improved cognitive function. Simply having someone to talk to and share concerns with can make a world of difference in managing travel stress. 3. Schedule regular breaks to prevent mental exhaustion. Cognitive fatigue can set in quickly, especially when dealing with new information. Seniors should schedule downtime in their itinerary. Avoid jam-packed schedules. Allow time for rest between activities. Take short mental breaks by sitting in a quiet park or cafe. Get enough sleep to maintain mental clarity. According to Dr. Matthew Walker, a leading neuroscientist in sleep research, sleep deprivation accelerates memory decline and increases stress, making it crucial for seniors to prioritize rest during their travels. Final thoughts. Travel should be enjoyable, not overwhelming. While traveling in later years presents unique challenges, careful planning and mindful strategies can significantly reduce cognitive overload and stress. By taking proactive steps, planning ahead, traveling with a companion, and incorporating rest, older adults can continue to explore the world with confidence and joy. If you've had similar travel experiences or tips to share, drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on safe and enjoyable travel after 70. Travel smart, stay safe, and keep exploring. So, now you know the 5 hidden dangers that can turn a dream vacation into a disaster. But here's the good news. Traveling after 70 is still possible and incredibly rewarding. Your health, your finances, and your safety matter. The smart. B. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 dangers concerns you the most? I drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. And if you found this video helpful, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more insight. Remember, adventure doesn't have an age limit, only a preparation limit.